Hello learners, welcome to the fourth day of online course on fundamental chemistry. Today we are going to learn solutions in chemistry. We will focus on learning various ways to express concentration of solution. We will also learn how to perform calculations before preparing some solutions in laboratory. I hope learning this solution concept properly, you will be able to prepare some solutions in laboratory under guidance of your observer or your teacher. You will be able to prepare some solutions on your own. So let us start with the solution. Solution is actually a homogeneous mixture of two or more than two components. If there are only two components in given mixture, then that solution is called as binary solution. There are two components in binary solution, of which one is solvent and other is solute. Solvent and solute are quantitatively or by concentration are relative terms. Of the two components in given binary solution, the one which is far greater in concentration relative to the other, we term that component as solvent, and the other which is relatively in low concentration, we call it as solute. This is not always the case that solvent and solute have far different concentrations. They can even have 50-50 concentration in given solution, but generally we have the condition where one of the component is far greater in concentration and other far lower in concentration. For example, saline water or saline. In saline there is water as there used water as a solvent, and salt solution or glucose solution is used, or glucose or NaCl is used as a solute. There are various combinations of solute and solvent based on their phase, and based on that there are three different types of solutions: gaseous solutions, liquid solutions and solid solution. Gaseous solutions have gases as their solvent part. You can see the same color, so you will easily understand this. Gases as their solvent, that means gas is going to be in larger concentration. You can have gas as the solvent and other gas as the solute. For example, mixture of air, where you have nitrogen as far greater in concentration as compared to other gases. Then gas and liquid, then gas and solid. These are also possible combinations. Droplets in water, droplets in atmosphere are an example of gas in liquid. Gas in solid, generally camphor is placed in nitrogen environment, so that system or that solution, binary solution, also we can call as gaseous solution. Then liquid solution, in which liquid going to be a solvent and other gas, liquid and solid can be the solute. Of this, today we are going to focus mainly on liquid solution or liquid solid solution. Then third type is solid solution, where you have solid as solvent and gas, liquid and solid can be one of the solute. So these are three different and their subtypes for the binary solution. Let us move to the important part of the solution, which we are going to focus more. Here we are going to learn these 3 ways to express concentration. There are other 4 ways more, but we are going to learn these 3 today, and remaining we will try to learn tomorrow. Mass percentage, the first way to express concentration. Mass percentage you can easily understand. Here we are going to express concentration of solid solute in solvent. That solvent mass we are going to consider. That means we are going to assume that the solvent part is solid. It may be liquid, but we will express not its volume, but we will express its mass. How to find out mass percent of solute or any component in given binary solution? It's very easy. Mass percent of the component which you are looking for is equals to mass of that component in solution divided by total mass of the solution. What do you mean by total mass of the solution? Total mass of the solution is the mass of solvent and plus mass of solute. And then as we are finding percentage of that, we will multiply that number, whatever the fractional number it will come, we will multiply that number with the 100. This is how we get the mass percent of given solution, or we get the mass percentage of any component in that solution. For example, 10% glucose solution. 10% glucose solution, this means when you have 100 ml or 100 gram for water, as its density is approximately 1, volume and mass are almost same. So we can alternately say that 100 ml of water is nothing but 100 gram of water. So when water is going to be a solvent, we can consider its volume equivalent to its mass. Numerically it is equal to the mass. Okay. So when we are saying 10% glucose solution, this means there is 10 ml or 10 gram of glucose in 100 gram of solution. 100 gram of solution if you are taking, to have the total 100 with 10 gram of glucose, we have to take only 90 gram of the water or 90 ml of the water. So how to prepare 10% glucose solution? You will take 10 gram of glucose solution and glucose powder, and you will add to beaker or measuring cylinder. Then you will add some amount of water to that beaker. You will try to first dissolve that glucose powder in some amount of water. Then you will pour that solution, partly formed solution, in measuring cylinder, 100 ml measuring cylinder, or you can pour that in beaker which we are going to weigh. And then we will add washing of the beaker with the distilled water to that beaker which we are weighing, and we will reach to the 100 gram. This is how we can prepare 10% of glucose solution. Likewise, you can prepare so many other solutions. For example, 12% of NaCl solution. You can even vary your volume of the solution or mass of the solution. For example, if you want to prepare 10% of glucose solution but only 50 ml or 50 gram, then instead 10 gram of glucose you have to take 5 gram. That simple mathematics you can just verbally perform, and you can have the mass percent, you can have that particular solution which the required concentration. Then next way to express concentration is volume percentage. Volume percentage is same as mass percentage, only here difference is, here we are going to consider mass of the substance, here we are going to consider volume of the substance or solution. The formula is analogically same. Volume percent of component equals to volume of the component in solution divided by total volume of the solution, and we have to multiply that number or fractional number with the 100, as we are saying it as a, or we are going to express it as a percent. So for example, 5% ethanol solution. What do you mean by 5% aqueous ethanol solution? I should correct it that it's a aqueous solution. Aqueous means I am going to use water as my solvent. 5% ethanol solution or 5% aqueous ethanol solution means in 100 ml of total solution, we are going to take 5 ml of ethanol and we will add remaining 95 ml of distilled water, and totally you have the solution which we can call it as 5% ethanol solution. This is how we can prepare the solution whose concentration is expressed in mass percentage and whose concentration is expressed in volume percentage. Generally, when you have solid liquid as the binary mixture, then we use mass percentage term. When generally you have liquid binary solution, you use this terminology, volume percentage. Then third term is parts per million. This name only or heading only makes you clear that we are going to count parts of component, any component, per million of the solution component. Formula it is given here that parts per million equals to number of parts, maybe number of grams or number of kilograms or number of milligrams. But you should keep this in mind when you are using this formula. Whatever the unit you have used for the quantity at numerator, the same unit you are going to use for expressing solution. So remember this point, and then you will take the factor, because you are talking about per million. So 10 to the power 6 gives you millionth part. So multiplying this number will give you millionth part of the component. So this is how one can find out parts per million concentration. Actually, learning this formula, understanding this will not suffice you proper knowledge of this concept, or you will not this will not make the concept clear to you. So what we will do, we will try to solve some problems based on this topic. These are we are going to call them as illustrative numericals. These are very simple numericals we are taking, so you will understand simple or basic or very minute components. Components means minute parts of the calculation. The very first and simple question is, the question asks you to prepare 100 ml of solution of 10% NaOH. 10% NaOH you want to prepare. Remember, here we are not going to consider, or we are not going to give any thought to molecular masses, atomic masses and like things. We will just simply weigh the component. By calculation we can find out what much amount of that component we should weigh. We will weigh that component. We will take required or calculated amount of water, and then we can make the solution. So how one should approach the problem? You should write problem, and you should write the given things or things you understood from the problem or from the question. Solute. Your solute is NaOH, because you are preparing 10% NaOH, means remaining 90% going to be water, as it is asking you to prepare aqueous solution. So water is going to be solvent and NaOH going to be solute. What is given? Percent mass of NaOH component. That percentage you supposed to prepare, or percentage solution you supposed to prepare, that percentage is given, that is 10. Okay, as I have written here percent mass of NaOH, I have not used symbol or unit percent after 10. That we can do. Then total mass of the solution is 100 gram. That's obvious, because they are only asking you to prepare 100 ml, and as I said, for water 100 gram and 100 ml will be same. But remember, for NaOH solution which is going to form, ml or volume and gram will not be same. There will be some different density value, and that will accordingly change the ratio or change the numbers. But very roughly we can say that as we are asked to prepare 100 ml of solution, we can say for the solution we are going to form will have density as like water only, because this is very dilute solution, so to say dilute solution. Then to know what we want to know mass of NaOH component. Formula is just logically also you can do this. Very simple. 10% in 100 ml means 100 will go out, and 10 gram of NaOH you have to take. That is very simple. But if you were asked to prepare 500 ml of some 6% of NaOH, then you will not be able to perform that much quickly. You can be if you have master if you are master in mathematics subject, and you may be able to do that calculation. So this is the procedure one should follow to prepare the solution. I hope you have understood this. Then next question: how will you prepare 500 gram of 24% aqueous NaCl solution? Here you have to write on paper, and you have to try these things properly. What is given? I have not written earlier things. The first question approach you must keep in mind, and this problem onward I am going to bit lazy writing all the things, and you must understand that you on your own you should write those things. So what is the mass of solution we supposed to prepare is 500 gram. Percent mass of NaCl is 24. Mass of NaCl that you are asked to find out, because you must know what much NaCl I should weigh and take, and in what much amount of solution I should dissolve. Then I will have this 24% of aqueous NaCl solution, and that we want 500 gram. So formula is what? 24, that you know the mass percentage of component equal to mass of NaCl in the solution that you don't know, you're supposed to find out, and below that is 500 gram into 100, and you just do the cross multiplication and take the 100 on that side, or you can cut zeros on this side. That simple mathematics you can do. That 5 and gram sign will go there and will multiply, and finally you have 120 gram. What it means? If you want to prepare 500 gram of 24% aqueous NaCl solution, you have to weigh and take 120.0 gram of NaCl. You have to dissolve first it in some amount of distilled water, and then finally you can weigh you must add some amount of water, or the amount of water which finally gives you the mass of solution as 500 gram. This is how we can prepare the solution. Then next question. Only these concepts we are applying in the solution, and I am trying to understand it better. Your question is, how will you prepare 20 ml of 20% aqueous ethyl acetate solution? This ethyl acetate solution in your organic classes you are going to use to run TLCs. So that time you may require just 5 ml of the ethyl acetate of different percentage concentration. So that time you must be able to do these things on your own. That how should I prepare 5% of ethyl acetate, 5 ml only, how much I should weigh ethyl acetate, to what much amount of water or other some solvent I must add to get that required amount, required concentration of ethyl acetate. So I have included this point in this topic. So what is given? Volume by volume, small volume for the solute and small capital V for the solvent. That percent is given. Ethyl acetate is 20. That means if we are, as the question says, we are going to prepare aqueous solution, capital V is the volume of water going to be a solvent. Then you want to prepare 20 ml of a solution in which only 20% ethyl acetate should be there, remaining 80% should be water. This also you can logically do. Okay, but we will follow the procedure. Total volume of solution equals to 20 ml, that is given in problem only, and you supposed to find out volume of ethyl acetate. Formula: volume percent of component equals to volume of component in solution divided by total volume of solution that you can read. Okay, then you will put the values in the formula. Volume of the percent component 20, volume of the component in solution which you supposed to find out what much I should take, or instead component you can directly say ethyl acetate divided by 20 ml and into 100. Then what will be the volume of component or ethyl acetate in the solution? Equals, just do the cross multiplication and just 20 will go there and 400 divided by 100 you will get 4 ml. This ml sign you can see survived here because everything every other number is unitless. Those do not affect this unit of this. Okay, so always survive there. Always involve your units also in calculation. Don't just take numbers and do mathematical operations on those numbers only. Do mathematical operations neatly on the units also. So finally you need not to remember the unit. Ultimately, after mathematical kind of calculations, you left with the unit there. So this is how one can. So what does it mean that when you supposed to prepare 20 ml of 20% ethyl acetate solution, you should take 4 ml of ethyl acetate in 20 ml of measuring cylinder, and you should add sufficient amount of distilled water till the mark of 20 ml. And then finally you will the solution you will pour into beaker or conical flask. You will stir it well, and the solution you obtained, you can call it as a 20% ethyl acetate solution, and by volume it is 20 ml. Okay, so if on your own you can try. If it would have been asked for the 5 ml solution, what amount of volume of ethyl acetate had been taken, that you can do on your own, that you can do as your homework. Okay, because 5%, 10% usually organic peoples for the TLC purpose they used to prepare. If you are asked to prepare for whole class, then 20 ml or even 50 ml will be the requirement. But generally in MSc classes you are supposed to prepare your solutions on your own and for yourself only, not for the class. Many times, not always but many times. So this is how one should prepare ethyl acetate solution. The next, then we will learn concept of mole and mole fraction. This concept is very important from point of view of your second day second part of the solution concept or topic. So 1 mole of any substance, keep this relation in mind properly. 1 mole of any substance equal to molar mass of that substance expressed in gram. This is very important. When you express molar mass in grams, then only you can say that is equivalent to 1 mole of that substance. For example, 16 gram of oxygen gas. 16 is molar mass of the oxygen, approximately 16 gram oxygen, because atomic mass of oxygen is 16 and molar mass of oxygen is 32, because oxygen is diatomic gas. There are 2 atoms of oxygen, and atomic mass of oxygen, one oxygen atom is 16, and you have to double it, so 32. So molar mass of oxygen is 32 gram. When you take 32 gram of oxygen, not 32 kilogram or milligram, 32 gram of oxygen, then you can say that you have taken 1 mole of the oxygen gas. Okay, so keep this in mind, that 1 mole of substance is always the molar mass of that substance expressed in gram. Okay, if mass of substance is given and if its molar mass in gram per mole unit, how to know what number of moles we are having of that compound or that component? This is the simple formula, that number of moles equals to given mass of substance in grams divided by molar mass of that substance expressed in gram per mole, not kilogram per kilomole or millimole, not else, gram per mole only. Yes, you can change both the things to the same unit, then you can. like you can say milligram per millimole, you can say kilogram per kilomole, like you can say. But when you are taking one part of the unit in CGS unit or MKS unit, other part must necessarily be in that unit only. Then only there will be no change in the numerical part that comes before this unit. Okay, so remember that always you must express this in gram per mole. Okay, so this is how. For example, if you are given with 16 gram of NaOH, what will be the number of moles in the 16 gram of oxygen gas will be 32 gram corresponds to 1 mole of oxygen. This you kept in your mind properly. Then 16 gram means you have halved the molar mass by you have halved the mass. That means you have divided with the 2. The same operation you will perform on the mole side. You will halve the mole. Halving mole, you will have 0.5 mole. This is the way you can perform other calculations also. But this was very simple mass given. They may give you 6 gram or 7 gram, 4 gram, 3 gram. That time you have to actually perform division. Like you have to divide that particular number with the 32, and you have to write appropriate the number of moles in till the appropriate decimal places or significant figures, and you can have the value of number of moles. Then mole fraction. If A and B are two different components of given mixture with number of moles as Na and Nb, then how to know the mole fraction of A and B? We call them as XA, or we used to represent them with XA and XB. XA is the mole fraction of A in AB mixture, and XB is the mole fraction of B component in AB mixture. How to find it? XA, that means mole fraction of A equals to number of moles of A divided by total number of moles. Total number of moles means number of moles of A plus number of moles of B. Like for B it is number of moles of B, then total number of moles as a divisor. Or you can say in mathematical form, XA equals to Na upon Na plus Nb. This is total number of moles. This is for the mole fraction of B. And this you just keep in mind properly, and this actually we are going to use in next problem, then you will understand it better. Okay, this is the problem. In a gaseous mixture of oxygen and hydrogen, I have just used their names. I have not used formula. You have to keep in mind what formula for the gases is. For oxygen it is O2, for hydrogen it is O2, H2, for ozone it is O3, for helium it is helium only, because helium is noble gas, monoatomic gas. So helium's atom and helium's molecule are same only. There is so in this problem there is 8 gram of oxygen in the mixture and only 1 gram of hydrogen gas, and we are asked to find out mole fractions. See, by mass wise they look very uneven by the proportion. Seems like we have used very much excess of oxygen and very small amount of hydrogen. But when you come across these calculations, then you will come to know actually we have used more number of hydrogen molecules than oxygen. Let us do those calculations. Let us convert these masses first into number of moles. You know how to convert now masses into given masses into number of moles. What is the formula? Number of moles equals to given mass of that particular component divided by molar mass of substance in gram per mole. You can write moles to the power -1, or you can write this way also. So you must know, to find out number of moles, you must know the molar masses of oxygen and hydrogen. Try to get values, or try to use values of molar masses at least to the 2 decimal fractions, okay, or 2 significant figures. So that will give you more accurate results. Okay. So for oxygen it is 32 gram, and for hydrogen it is 2.02 gram. Given mass of molar mass of substance in gram per mole. So number of moles of O2 equals to given mass of O2 is 80 gram divided by 32, and if you do this calculation it will be 1 by 4 and 0.250. Then number of moles of H2 equals to 1 gram upon this molar mass of H2. Don't get misunderstand that here we have used two different numbers, so they are respective molar masses, otherwise you may add them also or may do something wrong. So properly understand this, that mass of that gas and its mass, molar mass as the divisor, always mass of the hydrogen and molar mass of hydrogen gas volume, and this is how we get number of moles. Okay, now see the numbers. Here number of moles of oxygen actually 0.250, but number of moles of hydrogen are 0.459 moles. Moles, you just multiply this number with Avogadro number, those many molecules. Obviously at both places you are going to use 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 only. Here also the same number. This number will decide who is having more number of molecules, okay, who is with the more number of molecules. Okay, so then next, total number of moles, number of moles of O2 you just have calculated, you will just add them, you know this, how to add. Then the mole fraction of O2 equals to number of moles of O2 upon total number of mole equals to this calculation you can do. The formula, actually we have used formula in words, not in symbols or not in their representations. This also but you can write just x of O2 you can write equals to n of O2 upon total number of this, and this also. So you can just substitute these wordings with the notations and you can do it on your own. So this is how we have learned today 4 different concepts, 4 different ways to express the concentration. To express concentration of components in mole fraction is also very nice way to express the concentration. This thing to express the mixture component of mixture in mole fraction, you are going to use in colligative properties. You might have learned in your third year classes, or maybe in inorganic section you are going to use in your MSc classes. So learn this also, and even some statistical chemistry also, statistical quantum mechanics also, you usually come across this mole fraction concept. So learn this thing properly, you are going to use it. Thank you. So